Hey everybody, how you doing? I hope you're doing well today. I've got some people, family coming in today from out of town, and the first thing we're going to do tonight is go see Rogue One. That's right, Star Wars. So I'm excited about that. So because I've got family in town, I won't be here tomorrow, but I'll be back on Monday. Um, so I found a couple of images here of kind of a closer look at these handles. I was having trouble kind of figuring out what they were. And I can kind of see now it's just kind of a square, a rectangle, and this piece here right on the door. So I think I'm going to work on this, see if I can get one of these done and then just duplicate the others. Also, I might work a little bit on this too, although this is this is going to be okay. Um, I think I can work with this here. So okay, so let's take a look at this. I'm gonna. It looks like we've got for this piece in pretty much the right place, and then we've got. I think I'm just going to put a cube and a cylinder and a cylindrical type something. I don't really know yet. So let's see. Um, I'll create a cube here. And this is just going to be this part right here. Now, I think I'm going to keep these fairly low poly because I think these are the things that are actually going to go along with that low poly cube that's going to be in game. I think I'm going to keep these. I don't think I'm going to try and use a texture for these. So I'm going to try and get a good amount of detail, but not so much that it's too much, whatever that is. So I've heard some really good things about the new Star Wars. I'm looking forward to it. I've even heard people say it's up there with Empire, which is probably my favorite Star Wars film. So I hope I'm not going to be disappointed. Tell me I'm not going to be disappointed. Has anyone seen it? Hopefully I'm not going to be disappointed because I've been disappointed so much with, well, at least 3 of them. I was very disappointed. Wow, Sudan and Turkey. Hello, how are you? And we've got people from Hamburg and Austria. Awesome! It is great to see you and have you here. I love Blender that it's so worldwide. I love that. Also, I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I'm going to mm, make a plug for Blender. I would suggest, if you haven't, to subscribe to the Blender Cloud. It's only like 9 or 10 a month, and it helps them make Blender great. It's already great, I guess. So, okay, so gonna move. I think I'm gonna use a cylinder here for this piece right here. I think I can do that. Let me see. I'm gonna try this. I may be completely wrong about it, but I'm gonna take it. I am going to change the vertices from 32 to, oh, let's go with 12. I don't need that much, I don't think. And I'm going to go with triangle fan here, rotate it around the X. And so what I'm thinking of doing here, let's see if this is going to work. I'm thinking of just taking one part of this and stretching it down. So let me see if I can get this to work. If I select this part of the cylinder and just take it down like that. Okay. Now, let me go like this. Take it down like that. That doesn't really work now, does it? Okay. I thought I was on to something there. Oh, I know how I can do that. Okay, here's a better way. Let me try this. Let me just get rid of this completely here. And then extrude these. Right? Let me try this. I'm going to extrude these down like so. And then I'm just going to put the cursor here. Then move the pivot point to that cursor. Then I suppose I could just use the mirror modifier, mirror it in the Z. No. That's not going to work, is it? And the Y, because did I oh, I do. I have rotation in the X here. So if let me just try that again. If I just get rid of the rotation here and then add that mirror modifier, then I should be able to mirror it in the Z, and there it is. So that's this piece right there, right? So that's all I was doing, was just playing around with how to get that particular piece. So now that I've done that, I can use clipping, hit apply, then I can take this whole thing and get rid of the faces in back, like this, because I don't need those. Now we can scale it down and put it into place. Okay, well that kind of worked. Sometimes I just go off on a tangent and see what happens, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay. That's what the undo is for. Okay, that's pretty far in there. Let's see. There we go. Something like that. Although I think I could do it a little bit narrower, a little bit taller like that. Okay. I'm just going to put another, as I said, this isn't going to be real high poly here. I'm just trying to hint at this. It seems like the bar here is too far out, like I've extruded too far in to get these edges here. But I think maybe what I'll just do is duplicate this and move it over, and I'll just maybe use this. It's hard to see, isn't it? Let's turn wire on for everything. See if it makes it a little bit easier to see. Yeah, there we go. You know what? Is there a way, I wonder, so that every object you create comes out with wire on? There would have to be, wouldn't there? I've never even thought about it, but I bet there's a way to do that. I'd kind of like that, actually. I'll have to look into that. All right, so I'm just going to put this here for now, and I think what I'm also going to do is take this and scale it down just a bit like that. So we've got something that looks a little bit like that. I like this little piece hanging over here. Let me try that. Am I going to create characters for this project without fuse? I'm going to use probably the add-on that we looked at yesterday, the Manuel Labs here. But I think what I'm going to do is use that to get kind of, I don't know, I think I'll still rig it. I think I'm going to try and use the blend rig that they have on the Blender Cloud. But then use this as a template and then build clothes and armor and change the face. At least that's what I'm thinking, is to begin with a template from here, from the add-on, and then create everything else on my own. So that's what I'm thinking, because I've got so much to do. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. That's a really good question. I'm still working on it in my head, I think. Because I love doing all the characters on my own. I love that. Because I know it's all me. It's all, you know, what I do. But I don't know. That's so many characters. So we'll see. But I don't plan to use fuse for the main people in the scenes. You've used Manuel Labs and it's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I just don't like the rig that comes along, because there aren't any control objects, and it seems to be, and there's no IK. It just seems to be hard to use. So I'd want to create my own rig, I believe. Let's see. I'm just looking through what's going on out here. Does it seem like I'm in a hotel room? Well, it's close. It's an upstairs bedroom, so it's not exactly a hotel room. But if you come visit, maybe you can stay, but then I'll have to charge you a hotel fee. So, but no, it's not a hotel room. I'm not on the run from the law or anything. At least not that I know about. That's great. Okay, let's. I'm gonna add just a little bit of these things here. I know that's going to take up a lot of polys, but I'm going to try it because I think it looks kind of good. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to create a sphere, and I'll take that sphere down. Oh, I don't know. Let's do 16 by... okay. That was bad because I hit the wrong key again. I hope everybody does that, because I do that quite a bit. All right, 16 by 12. Let's try that. And I'll spin it around the X, 90 degrees. I will take this guy, and let's get rid of the back of this, like this. And now I think I'll just flatten it up a bit, like this. Maybe turn in these edges just a bit, like that. Something like that. There we go. Smooth it. Put it in there. I'm hoping this won't be too much, but We'll see. We'll see how it works. I just like to have something in there. I could probably do it with a texture just fine, but I like modeling. It's fun. And that's what you can do when you're working on your own thing. You can cheat so you can have fun. There we go. So there's that. Now I want to get this over here, maybe a little bit smaller, like this. Okay. So that's kind of the basic. There we go. Yeah, I think that'll be enough. Is it big enough? I think so. I kind of like the way these are going the opposite ways here. Although these are kind of cool the way they go in one way. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and do these like this. So if I think I also need something right here, something down there, just a little cylinder at the very bottom down here. So maybe I could do that with, oops, let me try that again. Maybe I could do that with, what did I do? There we go. Maybe I could just do that like this down here. Go ahead and put it on here. S, Shift Z, like that. Just so there's, something down there of interest. Let's try this. Yeah. I think that'll be fine. There we go. Okay. Now, so I'm going to take this guy. Oh, it's got these little pieces right there. Let me grab this and put these on here. So it looks kind of cool. So let me do that. I'm going to take this and duplicate it and move it up and put it right up here and make it quite a bit smaller. There we go. And zoom in. Let's put it right against there. Yeah. All right, like that. Like that. There we go. Now let's put them down here. There they are. And then let's put 2 in the middle there. There we go. All right, so we got that. Now, what we need to do is duplicate this with all of these guys. So I think what we got to do is make this all one object. So this, and all these pieces. This is going to be all one object here. So I can just duplicate it and move it over easily. Like so, Control J. I'm going to put the origin right in the geometry there. Okay, so there we've got that. So it looks like this is going almost right down the middle here. Actually, that's not a bad place for it. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and move this over to here. And then these two will go over here like that. And then this guy, let's get him all into being one object too, because we're never going to open these things like that. Control J. And I think I want to put the cursor right in here. Let me try that again. Right in there, there. So let's put the cursor there and then move the origin to that spot. Now we should be able to move these around and spin them around, although we're going to have to mirror it, aren't we? Because this has to stay on top. If I flipped it and rotated it, that wouldn't work. All right, I'll do that. But first I'll move this over here, like so. And then let's take this, duplicate it. I'll move it over kind of up here like this. And now let's mirror this. Mirror in the X. There we go. Oh! Whoa! I hit the wrong button again. Let's try that again. Mirror in the X and then hit enter. Then you can do what you need to do here. So, okay. Like that. I think I need to move this up just a bit. There we go. And then we can take this, duplicate it, and move it over here like that. All right. So, there we go. Now we've got that. I kind of like these hinges here. How would we do that? I don't want to do the full actual hinge there. I just want to hint at that being there. So we've got, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. What can we do just to make it seem like there are hinges there? Well, we could, and I like how it's kind of round there, so maybe we could begin with a cylinder and then select a couple of faces and extrude out to the door there. Maybe we could try that. Let's see. What computer do I use? I just have a laptop. It is a MacBook Pro, but it is loaded. Everything. I mean, I put everything on it. So it is just as powerful as you can have for a MacBook Pro. It's a 2015 MacBook Pro, I think. I think it's support whatever goes through the end of 2017. So it's a good computer. I mean, I like it. I had used Windows for 20 some odd years before I got this. And then Windows 8 just pissed me off. I'm sorry, it just pissed me off. And so I got a Mac. But I hear good things about what Windows is doing now. But sorry, Windows 8 that was the last straw. So, all right. Let's create. You know what? I'm going to grab this thing, select that edge here, and put the cursor right there. Okay. Now I'm going to grab a cylinder. 12, that's not bad. I'll go with that. 12 isn't bad. Let's do that. And let me see. I'll scale that in some. Yeah, and then let me pull that out just a little bit, I think. And then I think what I'll do is take these two. Let me see how it looks in scale here. It still looks a little small. Let me scale it up just a bit. Something like that, I think. And then, as I said, I think I want to grab those two faces. Yeah, those two faces, maybe three. Let's try that. And I'm just going to extrude them out in the X, straight out like that. And these kind of bend in. I kind of like this, how it bends in. I think I'm going to do that. These are a little bit flatter, but I like this one. So I'm going to bring this out like this. I'm going to hit extrude again. I'll bring this out and down. That's not going to work unless I rotate it around the Z like that. And then I'll extrude it out again in the X like that. Now, I want to do a couple things here. I'm going to press SX and scale in the X to flatten that up. I'm also going to take that whole thing back just a little bit, maybe. This I don't like. This I don't like right here. Sometimes I get these great ideas, but I think it'll work. Let's see. Scale it in the Z. I'm going to give it one edge right there. Grab these and pull them out just a hair. Like that. Let's try that. Let me smooth it and see what happens. All right. Let me try this. It might work, you know, it just might work. Crazy as it may sound, it just might work. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this, I guess, a few times. All right, so I'm going to scale that down just a bit more. And then let's begin down here. And this. So it looks like it goes right there. How that works. I'm going to take the wire off of all of this for just a minute. Yeah. Let me just unsmooth them and see what's going on. I kind of buy it, although I'm not sure. I'm not sure I like it. I'm going to go ahead and join them together. And go ahead and move them over to the other side. Looks like we're okay here. I'm going to mirror them. The X. And move them over here. I don't know. Kind of working for me. You know what? I'm going to delete these real quick because they're not in the right place for me. I'm not liking where they are. So I'm going to move this to the 3D cursor and then mirror this over. Right over here. Yeah, that's better. I'm going to apply that. So now I've got those all one object. And then I guess I could just mirror them over to the other side. Let's try that. Mirror. And let's try with the Y. And yeah, that did that. Good. I'll hit apply. Okay. You know, we could do the same thing for all of this too. So let me. So for all of this stuff, we're going to need just all of this. So just everything here. We're going to need all of this to go over to the other side. So since this is all ultimately going to be all one object, I'm going to go ahead and grab all of these anyway. Combine them together. Something just happened that, oh, it's because I mirrored. All the normals are flipped. Fantastic. I love that. Control N. There we go. That helped. All right, so now we can take this whole object and move that origin to the 3D cursor. Then we can mirror it again along the y-axis here. See how that works. And there we go. Got it on the other side too. There we go. All right. It's looking okay. It's looking okay. I think I'm going to go with it. Because as I said, this is going to be so small in the scene. They're going to be all piled up on one end of the cargo hold here. So 60-second delay for the chat, really? Wow, I'll have to take a look at that. My apologies. I'll see if there's some sort of a setting in there that'll help with that for the next one. We had talked about, someone mentioned these holes here. And I don't know if I want to deal with that, honestly. I'm not sure that that's... I think I may let that go. We could use a Boolean for that. But I think that's just going to add more than we need. I get the sense that this is going to be okay. And if it isn't, I can always come back and add that. So that's okay. Let's give this a try. So what I'm thinking is that these are going to be an object, and then everything else is going to be part of, well, am I going to have to see, these are sticking up. How much can I get away with in a normal map? I know I'm going to want these to be their own their own object. And then I was thinking to put that with this. Let me move this in some, so SY. So this I was thinking was going to be the low poly object. But I'm beginning to think I'm going to need this frame, you know? So I'm not sure. The holes are how the containers are restrained in transit. Yeah. Well, that's a good point. I mean, still, I don't know that I need them. As I say, I can always come back. All right. So what I'm going to do, I think, is let's begin first with this. I think what I want to do... Oh, wait a minute. Which is which here? You know what? I can get rid of this. I don't need this right now. Okay. And then this is now going to be the low poly. Because I made the high poly all on its own. There we go. So then this over here is the high poly. Okay. So, thinking now. Sometimes you just got to think. So what I'm thinking is that the top, sides, and doors are all going to be done through a normal map. And then I maintain everything else, right? So that I keep the frame here and the pipes here. That would mean I'd keep the hinges too. It would at least reduce it some. Let's see how much it would reduce it. So here we are here. We've got basically 30,000 tries. This thing oh, we don't know yet because I haven't applied the array modifier yet. All right, I'm going to need to do that. Let's hit apply. And what about this one? I've already done that. Okay. So this piece here, how many polys are we talking here? 468 tries. How about this thing? 660 tries. It's really not bad, actually. Now that I'm looking at it, it's like, huh. But the whole thing is 30,000. So probably from all this that I did. Let's try this. Yeah, that's 6 there. So what do I want to do with this? Well, so many of the polys are coming from all of this, mainly because I think I did those little things there. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's try and bake the normals. Let's try and UV map this thing and then bake the normals of the side panels at the very least. And let's see what happens. See if we can get something to work. like that. Yeah, let's start UVing it. Well, I don't need to UV it if I'm going to bake the normals, though, do I? So, it's driving me nuts now. I don't want it to be this heavy, though. I want it to be pretty, because I'm going to put a lot of these things in there. You know what? Let's see what happens if we just try and encompass the whole thing and use... I'm just curious now. What will happen if we do that? Let's try it and see. I'm going to go ahead and encompass the whole thing like this. I know, sounds a bit crazy, but I like to kind of try things and test it out just a little bit to see if it's going to work. Let's just consider this a test. Like so. Let's try this. So this is our low poly, and we can UV it very easily because there isn't a whole lot to it. It's just let's just select it all, hit U. Oh, well, let me apply the scale and hit U and unwrap. Oh, no, U and Smart UV project for this one. Let's try that. Okay. That's all it is, right? Okay. Let's try and add a material to it. So we've got a material here on it. Let's call this container low poly so we know what it is. Let's create a new image. So I'm just going to try and let's call this, what are we going to call this? We're going to call it container underscore in for normal. So I'm going to try and create a normal map of this. See if I can. See how much information is going to come through. We may not be able to get it. All right. So let's I'm going to open up this here. Okay, and I'm going to create a properties window. Where is it? There it is. And now from here, I guess I need an outliner too. Dang it. Okay. So what I need to do is I'm going to go ahead and combine this into one object. Try it like that. It didn't work. Let's try again. Oh, I must still have that selected. Yep, let me deselect that. Select everything here. Control J. Still won't work. Why? Why won't you work? Let's try it again. Okay, those will work. How about now? Yes. Sometimes you just gotta give it a push. Oh, that's nice. Let me go back. I had a mirror modifier on this. Man, let me go back. I had a mirror modifier on this. Okay. Any other modifiers that I'm not remembering? There's one. Apply that. Just want to make sure everything's good. How about these? No, I got those. Okay. All right. So now select everything. Control J. Yes. Thank you. Now that's all one object. We'll call this, this is going to be container high poly. Okay. Now, let's go back to our UV editor. I'm going to select that low poly, and I need to add an image node in here, image texture node for that image here, container in. There it is. I just need it there, hanging out there, or else this won't work. And then, okay, think about it now. We've got, let's go down to the bottom of the render panel here. Bake, we want our bake to be a normal map. We want it to go from selected to active, so the high poly to the low poly. Ray distance, I'll begin with 0.5. Let's try it. I am very curious. Here we go. Bake. Let's see how it works. I'm curious how much information is going to be in here. Ah, that's all, huh? Okay. Well, we got some pretty good information for the doors and the roof and the sides. But we didn't get much with this, mainly because those are probably on the outside. I'm going to change the ray to 1, and let's give it another try. All right. So it looks to me like, let me do one last thing here. Let me take the low poly, and I'm going to scale it out in the wide just a bit more to encompass those things. And then let's try one more time. Here we go. No valid objects. Oh, high poly, then the low poly, then the bake. Let's try that. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. But, okay, so, all right, let's take a look at this. This is a good test here. So I think everything looks good for a normal map for the top and for the sides and even for the doors. However, the tubes and the door handles and stuff, those aren't going to be as clean. So what I thought I was going to do was save a whole lot of polys, but it turns out the top and the sides aren't that many polys anyway. But I can still use a normal map doing it this way. Okay, so we've at least I've learned quite a bit here. So what I'm going to have to do is reposition these tubes so they fit on here a little better. So I've got to have this go completely out to here like that to cover all that, but I've got to have these tubes sit on that a little bit better. I don't know if you know what I mean. So ultimately it will look kind of like this, I think. It will be just a plain cube with the poles and the handles here and maybe the hinges, and then everything else will be normal map for the top and the sides. All right, it's a good proof of concept. I like to do this to kind of see how it's going to work, because honestly I'm never sure every time how it's going to work. So this is good. This is good. All right, so I think here is where I'm going to call it a day. And as I said, tomorrow I won't be around because we've got family in town. In fact, I just got a text that they have landed at the airport. So I'm going to hang out with them over the weekend. We're going to see Rogue One tonight, and I will see you again on Monday. All right? So have a great one, and I will see you then. Well, take care.